No more red dye. That's the decision handed down by FDA leaders that could impact thousands of food items that use red number 3. The move is all in a response to a federal law requiring the FDA to ban food additives that are found to cause cancer in humans or animals. Evidence shows red number 3 causes cancer in Mayo lab rats that are exposed to high doses. Health advocates call this a big win for the health of Americans. Companies have 2 years now to make this change. Joining us now, taking a deeper dive into this, Dr. Anna Maria Temple, who is a pediatrician and a good friend of ours here on Queen City News. Good morning.
Good morning.
You've been talking about this for years. And I remember early last year you were saying, listen, I'm not crazy, but there are those of us that are getting together in the medical community that are concerned about our health, our kids' health especially, and it was because of this red number 3.
Yeah, and red number 3, and the health advocates are concerned, like, how come we're not doing anything about the other food colorants, right?
Okay.
But it's like, but we got to start somewhere.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. You can't, it's a massive undertaking, and I'm so excited that, okay, we have started. It's begun. Here we go.
I mean, you guys have been marching on Capitol Hill, talking to Congress about other countries have banned this. It's a food additive.
Food additive.
Food additive to give it color, and it's a lot of the things that we eat that you see here behind us that we love. Finally, the U.S. is going, okay, enough already. What's taken so long?
Oh my gosh, do you know, so red 3 has been banned in cosmetics for 35 years. And it's taken 35 years to go, oh, you know what, the food we put in our mouth and eat, maybe that's a problem because we have the red 3, which has been associated with cancer, while other countries like in Europe and Australia and Japan have already banned it for a long time. And we're still kind of wondering why our cancer rates are rising as compared to the rest of the world. And we're like, it's got to be genetics, or maybe it's what's in our food.
Okay, we're looking at some juices here, cupcakes, frosting. I mean, just go through some of the lists. I think people will be blown away by what all it's in.
Right, and here we have Valentine's Day is coming up. What color is Valentine's Day? Red, red everywhere. And so one of our favorite candies, which is the Brax candies, you know, the little hearts things.
I hate those things. Those conversation hearts, the chalky, conversation hearts.
Yes, those which are so popular Valentine's Day, and we give them to kids so they can give them to each other and then eat them. Those have red 3. They're filled with cancerous substances. The other Brax candies, the Valentine's cookies at Walmart that you make, Yoo-hoo strawberry drink, Ensure strawberry drink. By the way, Ensure is used by a lot of people that are sick. So, so you're doing Ensure because you can't eat food, because you're on medication, because you have chronic issues, and here we go. Red 3 is hiding right in there.
Okay, it's unbelievable. I mean, if you could walk, now this would be cool with AI, if you could walk into a grocery store and stand on the aisle and go on my phone or something, show me what has red dye number 3 banned. I bet if you stood in the aisle, you'd be like, whoa, that just took 80% of what I was about to buy off my list.
Yeah, well, so, you know, it's interesting. So food companies knew this was coming. And so they have taken out red 3 and replaced it with red 40.
So red 40, is that okay?
Red 40 is not okay. That actually has been associated with neurological abnormalities, including hyperactivity and ADHD.
Well, okay. We're such an advanced country. At least we think that we are in many areas. Why are we allowing this? Please tell me it's not just because of money or whatever else. I mean, I know that's not what this is about, really.
I think that a lot of people don't believe that these substances, even though the data is mounting and it's growing, in fact, in California, they banned added food coloring from children's schools' lunches. So in the California public schools, they've banned adding food colors. And the rest of the country is like, oh, that's weird. But we are, I think a large majority of people don't believe that red food dye or artificial food dyes actually cause problems in children.
Why are we so addicted to ultra-processed foods that have these additives and dyes in them?
Because what happens when they process the foods, they're food chemists that go in the labs and they create specific substances that make us addictive to it. They know how our taste buds work. They know how our brains work. They know how our guts work. So they create these substances that are super addictive, but they're really bitter and they taste awful. So they cover them with sugar and salt. So these foods then become palatable. So our taste buds are supposed to defend us from horrible things that may kill us, are confused. They don't know. They become addicted. And now Mother Nature, which is just as a tomato and a cucumber, seems kind of wimpy by comparison.
You know, we talk about addictions and how you've got big tobacco companies trying to make cigarettes now with just a fraction of the nicotine that they used to 50 years ago. Do you see a trickle-down effect with the FDA or other companies where they're going to be forced to lessen the amount of addicted materials in our food to go more healthy?
I'm really hoping that we're seeing this. But, you know, fun fact, when the tobacco industry went under fire because of the cancer in tobacco, they bought food into the food industry. Several massive companies were bought by the tobacco industry, and they were the masterminds in altering the chemical compounds in food to make them more addictive. Coincidence? I don't think so.
Okay. Whew. We need like a 10-minute segment. We need a part 2 to go through this. Listen, I printed off just one list of medications that also have red dye number 3 in it. Most of these I can't even pronounce, but I guarantee there's a lot of things on here that people take that you'd be surprised. I mean, how are we supposed to know what's even in our pill bottle?
You're depending on your doctor and you're depending on your pharmacist to help you out in this matter. And so Vyvanse 10 milligrams, which is a common ADHD medicine given to children, contains dye number 3. Doxycycline, which is a common antibiotic, especially for teen acne or sinusitis, red number 3.
I see a heartburn medicine that I take. Omeprazole delayed. I take that. That's got that in there?
That has red 3 in it. Fluoxetine, which is generic for Prozac. Various milligrams, 10, 20, 40 milligrams of generic Prozac contain red dye number 3.
Okay. This is worth celebrating, but it's also hard to digest what you're throwing at us this morning, because I think a lot of us are just really surprised. Maybe we've just been turning a blind eye. How do we keep our families, our kids, healthy? How do we increase the wellness and longevity going into now that we're in 2025, but also make wise decisions, because it's unfortunate that healthier things are more expensive?
It's true, but when we're looking at what the things that we're buying is a lot of candy and cookies and sweetened stuff, so that we don't really need to have that in our diet anyway. But what this is making us do is becoming more informed consumers. We now have to read the ingredient label, which I've been saying since 2007.
Yes, you have.
So we have to start reading the ingredient labels. And when you see red 3, what happens is you're like, wait, why is yellow 5? Wait, why is blue in here? Wait, what's MSG? So what happens is like a domino effect, because once you start seeing, you can't unsee, and you start seeing more and more, because that's how I started my journey. I looked at, it was for red 40, let me get this out of my kid's diet. And as I was looking at red 40, I was like, wait, what about this? What about this? What about that? And so the process begins, but we have to become advocates for our food and advocates for the medicine that we put in our bodies.
Wow, yeah, we have a right to say no to the things that we're putting in our body. It's like if you put a gallon of Snapple sweet tea in the tank of your car thinking it's going to run, it's not going to run well. That's what we're doing to our bodies. Before we wrap up, because there's so much we could talk about here, Dr. Tipple, you've got a great book that's been out a little while, Healthy Kids in an Unhealthy World. This has got to be one of the biggest challenges that we face as families today.
Yeah. And you know, in this book, I break it down in super simple steps because it's overwhelming. And red 3 and red 40 and sugar and MSG, oh my God, it's exhausting. So what I do is I break it down. I literally tell you like how I did it. I did the journey for 16 years. I'm still on the journey. But if you do a small step, one little change today, you're going to have awesome and amazing progress tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Big news coming from the FDA with red dye number 3 being banned. Thank you for bringing this to us. You and so many in the medical community that have been championing this and screaming this for years. It's finally happening. So thank you. It's so good to see you.
Absolutely. So great to be here.